I think is that his talk was a whole lot better than his action. And it's breaking my heart. I mean, it's not going to stop me from voting for him because I can't imagine who the other guys are going to come up with that'd be any better. But it's like voting for Republican light or Republican heavy, as far as I'm concerned, the way it is right now. And he pulled in way too many people in his administration from the past. He should have got fresh people. He should have been talking up leadership things and jobs and all that stuff from the beginning. The fiasco he made with the health care reform, by sticking Baucus on there and all these other idiots and letting him flutter around for months at a time and taking the whole, single payer off the table before it even started. He negotiates everything away. He gives it away, and then he starts from the bottom position. And of course they just keep shoving him down. And it hasn't seemed to sunk into him yet that bipartisanship is not going to work in this environment. I mean, it just is not going to work. He's got to be out there saying, well, he's not going to do it. He just didn't take advantage of stuff. He was in such a powerful position when he won. He could have said, we're going to do this, and this, and gone out and done it. And instead he hires half the people that were in the Bush administration and leaves them on board so they could just keep on undermining things. And he just, I am so disappointed. I really am disappointed. I hope we come up with some other good Democratic leaders somewhere that'll be able to, the trouble with the primary challenge is then you're dividing the vote and then you're really getting screwed. And unless the Republicans do that too, I think it's going to be harder. I think he's better off probably not being primary. I mean, it's hard for me to say that because I would love to see him. I would love to vote for somebody else, for Democrat president. Okay.
So you think it would be the responsible thing to do, knowing the opposition that you have, knowing what you've done last 3 years, is to say, you know what, I'm going to step down and let someone who can govern effectively.
But he's not going to do that.
No, you think that would be?
I mean, that's just a pipe dream. He likes being what he is.
No, you think that would be the responsible thing?
Well, in a fat chance that would ever happen. I mean, he likes being where he's at. He likes he likes being on top. He likes knowing these fancy people. He likes being in the power position. He likes that. You can see that he loves it. You can see that he adores Wall Street. I mean, it's just like the ordinary citizen is kind of like, down there, well, they don't count, they'll vote for me anyway, and so he thinks he's going to get independence by being a wimp, and he's not. It pisses off the independents. They don't like to see somebody who isn't out there saying things. I mean, even, for God's sake, Michelle Bachmann gets people behind her because she's so assertive. And he's got to be a lot more assertive, and he's not going to be because he hasn't done it yet. So I have no confidence in that. I'm just praying I'm praying they bring in some real Looney Tune on the Republican side so that Obama wins, so that we get through somehow the next 4 years without too much disaster. I hope we get a few more people in the House, a few more Dems in the House, and can maybe do that. I mean, I know he's had a hard time. I know he had a whole lot to go up against, but he sure did not do it effectively. I don't think he had enough practice.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Last question.
Yeah, sure.
He wins. He's going to win the election. The poll numbers are saying he's going to win.
Yeah.
You're his advisor, and he says, listen, as far as winning this thing, we can.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that I've done a good job. As my advisor, would you, if I someone to step down, would you support me? Is that an advice that you would give as my advisor?
As the advisor, I probably wouldn't, because people wouldn't be aware unless this other person had such a high profile that the whole country would say, oh yeah, that's the man or woman. I think it would be a mistake.
You think Hillary could have done a better job?
Hell yes. Hell yes. I mean, she really would have, because she had been through the mill. And she would have seen what these bastards are doing. And she wouldn't have put up with it. And he just sort of wants everybody to get along, you know, let's all get along.
Is that a naive?
Boy, is it naive. And it's naive to have it continue so long. If he'd just done it for the first 6 months, because he was new and he didn't know, he didn't have a handle on it yet. Okay, I give him credit for that if it had been that. But it has not been that. It's been time and time and time and time again. And it just goes on forever. And even with, you know, he goes after the what was the stupid thing, the debt crisis. Shit.
Debt ceiling?
Yeah, that deficit,
yeah.
The deficit thing, and the debt crisis, and oh gosh, we're going to go into default.
S&P,
we're going to go in default.
S&P, the debt ceiling.
Yeah, all that stuff. Instead of turning that around to saying what we really need are jobs here, and we've got to, you know, he could have ignored that stupid question. But no, he goes on public TV and talks and talks and talks about how terrible it is that we have this deficit, and the problem with the possible default. And so of course we've got to compromise. I mean,
what message is he giving next 4 years? Knowing that we have no choice.
I don't know. It's sad. I don't even know what message I'll give him. My message is I'll go to the polls and I'll put my ex by his name, but I'm not doing another damn thing. Nothing else. Nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing.